As a beginner filmmaker, especially if you're a student like me, you don't have thousands of dollars to spend in your lenses. Then you should plan your things and buy the right lenses, the cheap and right lenses that you will need for most of your purposes. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 4 lenses that you need that are very budget friendly, and you can just do anything as a beginner filmmaker with these 4 lenses. So without any further ado, let's roll the intro. So the first lens, which is very budget friendly and every filmmaker, maybe photographer or filmmaker needs, is a kit lens. Most of the beginner filmmakers try to ignore or neglect this lens, but trust me, this lens can be very powerful. With the 18 to 55 mm or maybe 15 to 45 mm, I don't know what type of camera you have and which kit lens you have got, but it can be very powerful because it has an aperture of about maybe 4 to 5.6 or maybe 3.5 to 5.6, and the focal length you get is very flexible because you also get that wide focal length, and at the same time you also get a very decent focal length which is maybe 50-55 mm. I have shot so many videos with just a kit lens and people appreciated it. It just didn't look it was a kit lens because you need to know how to use your gears. So don't tend to ignore, don't tend to neglect this lens. Just go on, start filmmaking, start learning, and just utilize what you have. So the next budget lens you need is 24mm f2.8. It's a great lens, trust me, it's a great lens. I've used it, and with 24mm, which is a wide angle lens, I don't know if you have an APS-C sensor, it will not be that wide, but still it's wide. And with f2.8 you get a very nice decent bokeh. It does not produce that much bokeh like f1.4 or f1.8, but it also produces a decent bokeh and it's better than f4 or f5. I just love this lens because with 24mm f2.8 you get very cinematic results, and it costs you about $110, so it's pretty cheap and produces very dope results. So the next budget lens that you need is a nifty 50 lens. How can I forget this lens? This prime lens is pretty dope. I have this lens and you have seen in many of my videos talking about this lens, how good this lens is for photography and videography because it produces amazing results. With f1.8 you get that bokeh, and you also get a very cinematic footage with 50mm focal length. But note that if you're shooting videos with 50mm f1.8, you will need a gimbal or any type of stabilizer because you cannot shoot handheld, because at 50mm you will get a lot of jerk. So the last lens I'm going to talk about is mostly for photography, but it can also be used in a very nice way for videography in some cases. So I'm talking about any type of telephoto lens. So Canon has this 55 to 250mm focal length lens, which is a telephoto lens, and it's amazing for many types of photography like street photography or maybe some landscape or portrait photography, because you get that compression, and when you get such level of compression at 250mm focal length, it just produces very dope results. This lens will not be a very go-to lens for videography, but you can use it for 1 or 2 shots maybe in a video, and that's because it also produces a lot of compression. So if you want to have that shot where everything is very much compressed, the background is very much magnified and compressed, then it can be a very good lens for that purpose. And the lens is very cheap. You can get it for about $120. So these are basically the 4 lenses you need as a beginner, as a student, or any type of person you are. If you are not earning that much, then these 4 lenses can be used for basically any type of photography and filmmaking, and you can produce amazing results. And once you start earning, you get a lot of payment, then you can buy the expensive lenses to even step up your game. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then don't forget to hit the like button. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, then what are you waiting for? Consider subscribing it. So that's it for today's video. See ya.